So we are just basically want to talk with you a little bit about before you start taking the product. How are you feeling? The things that you've noticed since you've been taking the product, and just kind of give us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, before I started taking the product, I've had multiple issues. One of the reasons um, you and I spoke and you recommended was because I was in a lot of pain because of my hip.
Right.
Uh, I was diagnosed with a bad hip joint, whereas the femur bone is rubbing into the socket and bone on bone. Another issue that I was suffering from is chronic hiccups. Um, I also have hypertension, and I take 4 different blood pressure medicines for that. So once I started taking the product, it took a little bit, but I think it was after 3 weeks, I began to notice that my hip started easing up as far as the pain level. Previously, I was at a level of 12, which is a scale of 1 to 10.
Wow.
And after taking the product, I noticed that it cut it in half. So it was a lot less intense. Of course, it's not going to get rid of it since the bone is grinding on the socket, but it does provide some comfort. And I also noticed that the joint seems to be a little bit more mobile.
Very good.
Another interesting thing that we found out was with my blood pressure medicine I've been taking, um, my average pressure is about 154 over, let's say, 89, 90. And since I've been to the doctor twice since I've been taking it, they take my readings, and I was 120 over 74.
Wow. Very good. Were they impressed?
Well, they said, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing what you're doing.
I'm glad.
Very
at least say
good.
that.
At least they told you to keep it up.
Yeah. Now I still take the 4 medicines, but I've never been able to achieve that blood pressure level even with those medicines. So I'm very thankful that it's helped me. And I've also noticed a general feeling of calmness. I have a very stressful job. I'm in the service industry, and all of the service issues comes to me. So it's just constant, nonstop all day. And I've noticed that throughout the day that I've just feel a sense of ease and calm, even during these trying situations or challenges that I'm faced with.
That's great. That's great.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And what? Let's see. And you said you had the hiccup thing going on.
Yeah, I still have that. They still don't know what's causing that. I was very hopeful that it would help me with that. I did experience a period of time for 5 weeks that I went without hiccups, and I didn't even take their medicine, but then it just came back. And I thought it was because I ran out of the stuff. So that's when I was frantically trying to get my reship.
Right.
Yeah.
But since I've gotten it, I think this is maybe my 3rd week with it, and
Mhm.
I'm still suffering from them. But I do notice that they're not as intense. So
But there was a
maybe it's
coincidence.
helping.
There was a coincidence that when you did have that period where you weren't hiccuping for 5 weeks, that was while you had been taking the tincture.
Yeah, while I was taking the tincture, but I think the last week I had run out.
Okay.
So I
Good.
just didn't associate it. And then when I started doing it again, I said, well, that must be the difference. So that's when I was burning you guys up. Hey, ship me some, ship me some.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.